Drawback of EPA. Environmental Protection Act, 1986. While the Environment Protection Act, EPA, 1986 is an important legislation in India that aims to protect and improve the environment, it does have certain drawbacks. Some of the drawbacks of the EPA Act, 1986 are as follows. 1. Lack of stringent penalties. One of the key criticisms of the EPA Act is that the penalties and punishments for non-compliance with environmental regulations are often considered inadequate. The fines imposed may not serve as a sufficient deterrent for environmental violations, leading to a lack of strict enforcement. 2. Limited scope and coverage. The EPA Act focuses primarily on pollution control and environmental standards. However, it may not adequately address emerging environmental challenges such as climate change, biodiversity conservation, and sustainable development. The Act's scope and coverage could be expanded to include a wider range of environmental concerns. 3. Inadequate implementation and enforcement. Despite the existence of environmental regulations, the implementation and enforcement of the EPA Act have often been cited as weak. Inadequate resources, limited capacity of enforcement agencies, and delays in legal proceedings can hinder effective enforcement of the Act's provisions. 4. Insufficient public participation. The Act does not explicitly mandate public participation in decision-making processes related to environmental issues. This can limit the involvement of affected communities and stakeholders in shaping environmental policies and regulations, potentially leading to decisions that do not adequately reflect local concerns. 5. Lack of integration with other laws. The EPA Act operates as a standalone legislation and may not be effectively integrated with other related laws and regulations. This can lead to overlapping jurisdictions, confusion, and gaps in addressing environmental issues comprehensively. 6. Delays in legal proceedings. Legal proceedings related to environmental violations under the EPA Act can be lengthy and time-consuming. This can lead to delays in addressing environmental issues and obtaining timely remedies or penalties. 7. Limited accountability and transparency. The Act may lack clear mechanisms for ensuring accountability and transparency in environmental decision-making processes. This can hinder effective monitoring, reporting, and public scrutiny of environmental actions by regulatory bodies and industries. It is important to note that efforts have been made to address some of these drawbacks through subsequent amendments and improvements in environmental governance. However, ongoing efforts are still needed to strengthen the EPA Act and its implementation to address emerging environmental challenges and ensure effective protection of the environment.